stop right there. I'm getting pulled over. Before we start this video, Billy recommended this place to me. I got a roast beef sandwich with barbecue sauce. All right, well, let's try not to make a mess of the SQ5. Although the next videos you'll probably see is us cleaning this and the S4 up on the interior. I'm gonna be thinking about that sandwich the entire turbo review here. All right, well, if you missed 2 videos ago, we installed a pure 750 on this car, which is the equivalent to a TTE 810, or just about. It actually makes a tiny bit more torque than the 810 on an integrated engineering file. And other than that, this car does not have injectors, it does not have 4-bar map sensors, and it doesn't have a high pressure fuel pump. We're just running on 93 octane, pretty much about the max that the fuel system and the injectors can handle. My injectors and my 4-bar map sensor should arrive today, and I already have the fuel pump in the basement. I don't know if I'm supposed to mention it, but I'll just tell you guys, Integrated Engineering is coming out with a fuel pump for the 3.0. Big surprise. So I have one of their pistons that made it through quality control. They actually test every piston through quality control. Other modifications on my car, I have the Integrated Engineering intercooler, intake, turbo inlet, and I currently have the AWE Catback exhaust, although I'll probably be selling that in the next few weeks because I want to do tips out the back of the car. I have an MTM bumper sitting in the basement, and the AWE doesn't give me enough reach to do that. I got TGK Motorsport lowering links, and I have RS5 rotors with a 265/40 winter tire on them right now, which is going to be an important aspect of this video because, spoiler alert, we ran some draggy runs. Now the big question, should you go hybrid turbo on your B9, S4, S5, or SQ5? Personally, I feel like stage 1, so for a little bit of context for those that don't know, I, before this, had a C7.5 S6, a 2016 Audi S6, that's a twin turbo V8, on E85, stage 1, with really no other modifications. That car went 10.92 at 126. So that was my baseline for what stage 1 should feel like. Stage 1 on this car was nothing short of a letdown to me. Now obviously I rode around on stage 1 for quite some time, and it wasn't bad. I mean, the whole car wasn't bad. I drove this car stock for like 4 months, but as far as like overall speed and power that I wanted, stage 1 was not it. Now there really wasn't that much more power to be had from stage 2, and so immediately I knew that I was going to do a hybrid turbo on this car. And once we installed the pure 750, let me tell you, this car feels like how I think a stage 1 tune should have felt in this car. And now I know that's kind of ridiculous for a lot of people, and they're going to feel like stage 1 was great and it has a lot of power, and it does, but the stage 3 file with the hybrid turbo, the intake, and the intercooler, and I guess you need the downpipe too, although I think they have a stock downpipe file. Don't quote me on that, I'm probably going to get in trouble by saying that, but I think you might be able to run stock downpipe, you just lose a little bit of power. All of those modifications combined feels like how this car should have come from the factory. Now, IE says this car should be making right around 500 wheel horsepower, which in a small SUV is nothing to laugh at. Should you hybrid turbo your car? I'm gonna lean towards yes. There's really no major downsides, you're not putting anything in danger, and you're not really pushing anything that hard. The biggest reason not to hybrid turbo your S4, S5, or SQ5 is that the turbos are expensive. You're looking at anywhere from like $2,500 to like $4,500 bucks, depending on the turbo that you do, and if you return back your original turbo or not, and get a core charge refunded. But I'm gonna say, for 90% of the people even researching if they should go hybrid turbo or not, the answer is yes. It's not something you'll regret. I'll tell you that much. There's really no change in reliability. I love that. But the car wakes up so much. I can't tell you how much more fun I'm having driving this car than I did on stage 1. If you guys remember, for the past almost year now, I've been saying the B8.5 SQ5 is a better buy than the B9. It's because the B9 hasn't given me any sort of real entertainment. This makes the car fun. I'm sure all of you are curious what it runs. First launch I ever did was in the rain, and it just torched the winter tire. the tires up. Then we did a launch in the dry. That was awesome. All right, launch control in the dry. Left pretty good. And then I started playing around with how long to stand on the brake and what I should do there and if it's gonna chirp the tires. And that's where it started to get a little bit frustrating because there is a perfect boost to launch at to cut that 60-foot way down, and I have not found that yet. Too much. Now partially, I'm limited by these winter tires. I mean, they just are not willing to hold on to the road the way that a proper ultra high performance all season or a summer would. Honestly, I think I just need more practice and more time playing around with the launch control files. I've only run one of the launch control files. I just flashed the second one, but haven't really had a chance to launch it. I did a launch yesterday, just torched the tires again. So I only got one hit in, and I accidentally let out before the 8th mile. I didn't even realize. Not bad. Now, granted, I was hoping to be faster, and based on my 330, which I believe was a 496, that puts me, I went a 500 on a 12001 pass. I think that puts me roughly in the 11.8s, maybe an 11.7 if I get the launch down better. Not bad for a car that's kind of the middle of its full potential. For reference, my dual pulley SQ5 went 11.7, and then with the seats out of it and a different TCU tune, went 11.3. Initially, I was like, oh man, I wish it was faster, but you gotta reality check yourself, right? It's a stock fuel system. It's on 93 octane. My SQ5 was on E40 both times, kind of capped out on what you could do from the engine perspective. So there's a road ahead of us, and I'm very excited for it, but for the time being, I think we're running like 11.7, 11.8. Mid-range torque, awesome. Overall response from the turbo, not that much different if I'm honest, other than you have to sit on the brake and the gas longer to get the car to actually launch in boost, which I learned by not sitting on the brake and the gas long enough. I think we might actually be able to get a launch in here. Here we go. Cop right there. I'm getting pulled over. Oh no way.
Did you see the two cruisers sitting right there?
I did not. So I'm really excited to take this car to the drag strip and see what it does. I'm aiming to have the high pressure fuel pump, the injectors, and the map sensors done before I get to the track. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me get pulled over. And I hope you guys, if you're thinking about making a switch to a hybrid turbo in your car, have a little bit less doubt about the decision, because I think it is a fantastic decision. As always, thank you so much for watching. Go out there and spread the positivity, and I will catch you guys in the next video.